Hello, my name is Blair. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And I've been very ill over the weekend. So ill that I couldn't even read, which just feels criminal because surely when you're ill, that's when you should read. But my brain was just like, no. So I'm coming back with a different video than what I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to do my anticipated releases. And then I looked into it and I was like, oh God, I've got to go through a lot of books, to put together that list. My brain isn't quite there yet. So we're going to do a book unhaul because soon I'll have my own free little library, which is a little box on the street where people can leave a book, take a book, you know. So I've got some books that are ready to go in there, and I'll explain a bit why I want them gone. Because it's not all a bad reason. Some of them I just haven't even read, but they've been on my TBR for over a year, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time. So let's get into them. I love a book unhaul. So first one is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. I'm just really over Adam Silvera and I'm never going to read this again. I didn't really enjoy this one when I did read it, but this wasn't the first one I read of his, whereas I know that it was for quite a few people, so they've got like a different feeling towards it. But because I'd read I think 3 other books by him, I'm sorry, but all his characters are the same people. And I'm pretty sure they're all self-inserts. So I'm over it. But there'll be some happy queer who will pick this up, and that makes me happy. But bye-bye. Beautiful Boy by David Sheff. I tried to read this multiple times, but it is way too difficult for me. I have such a personal history, when it comes to what's inside this book, and, being on the same situation as, say, his dad. And it was too much. I had not had the therapy, and I got to, here. I just found my Waterstones Cafe cards and some loyalty. But yeah, I don't want to go into it, but this was too personal for me. I know it's an extraordinary book just from the short bit I've read. I'm not strong enough to read it. So I'm passing it along. I have kept it on my shelf for ages, convincing myself that one day I'll be strong enough to consume this book, but I'm admitting defeat because I'm not, and that's okay. So this one's going to be going into my free little library. Also, just to throw it in, this is a queer story of loss and also kind of romance, YA. I forgot to put all this. And this is a fiction story about, it's a dad's story about how he struggled and dealt with his son's struggles with drugs. I can't believe I forgot to say what the books are about, but yeah. And there's also a book called Tweak, which is from the son's actual perspective, and they're true stories. That's why it was so difficult. Yeah. So this next one, I had no idea what it was about. I just got it in a free little library because I like the edges. But it's Red Dirt by E.M. Reapy. It says on the back, a group of young Irish migrants leave a man for dead on the outback road in Australia. That's the first sentence on the back. So it sounds alright, but honestly, it's been on my shelf for so long. It's never going to be at the #1 spot, and I'm letting it go to go into my box. This next one I've read and loved, but I found the hardback version in a charity shop, and it's Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I'm really excited to put this in my box and have someone else read it because it's so great. I have got a few tabs in there. They're white, so you can't really see them. But they're just lines I liked. There's, I haven't gone in there trying to work out the mystery, even though that would be fun to do. So this one's going in there as well. Also, this is a murder mystery, I keep forgetting to say. Next one is a thriller I've really enjoyed, and it's The Catch by T.M. Logan. I enjoyed this. I'm just never going to read it again. This follows a dad who meets his daughter's new fiance or husband. I think just fiance at the moment. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a while since I read it. And he thinks something's off with the partner of his daughter, so sort of digs in to him, and it goes from there, and it is really fun. I have heard that The Holiday is better, and that is on my shelf, and I actually will read that one. But I really enjoyed this, so someone else can as well. This next one I've read recently and talked about in maybe 3 videos. Dead Fathers Club, Matt Haig. This is going. I don't fiction story. I've spoke about it before. It's going. This is the uncorrected book proof, but I am just putting it in my free little library, which I think is fine because I'm not selling it or anything. Okay, this next one. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I know that people loved this book, and I saw it in a charity shop for like £1, which is £1, and just picked it up and thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. Never got round to giving it a go. What do you reckon? Should I just pass this on to my box? Is it worth the read? Let me know, because it has just been sitting on my shelf for far too long, just collecting dust and wasting space. So tell me if it's worth reading before I do say goodbye to it. And you've got time to let me know, because my free little library box is still being built, so let me know. I don't really know what this is about, but I think it's about a neurodivergent character, or she's implied to be neurodivergent. Eleanor Oliphant leads a simple life. She wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal for lunch every day, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. Vodka out of everything. Eleanor Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetable existence except sometimes everything. It does sound good, but I'm losing faith I'll ever read it, so let me know. Next one I've also recently talked about in a video, and it is the worst books video, and it's We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I'm passing this on because there'll be someone out there who hasn't read it yet and just wants to see if it is worth the hype. It's a very polarizing book. Some people absolutely adore this. I'm like the opposite. It did trick me a bit, like when I first finished it, I thought, oh yeah, that was really good. But I think it's because I read it so quick. In reality, after I've soaked it in and thought about it, I don't like this book. This is about a group of privileged children that are just a bit shit. Even though they've got everything they could possibly ask for. Sorry if I don't really care. Especially right now. Moving on. A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. I had to look because I have not looked at this book since I picked it up in a charity shop. I don't think the person who previously owned it did either, because this book isn't read. I don't really know what this is about, but it sounds like a sad, sad story, and to be honest, I'm not up for a sad, sad story at the moment. And this has also been sitting on my shelf forever. Never heard of it before, like never heard anyone talk about it. Imagine if it was some sort of like real gem. But I'm fine passing this on. It is just taking up space, and I live surrounded by piles of books. So I need the space. Sorry. Next one is one I picked up in a free little library, as usual. It's After the Rain by Lucy Dillon, and it was fine. It was fine. It passed the time. Do I remember anything that happened in this book? No. First the clouds, then the storm, but after the rain. That's what it said on the back. I can't be bothered to read you these bits in between. But it's time for a fresh start, it says. So I think this is someone had issues and found happiness again. But this is going, just because I'll never read this again. And to be honest, this is a bit of a mum book. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say that, but it's a bit of a mum book. And the last one was also a free little library find, is Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi. I haven't read this, and I don't want to read it because all the reviews suck. I've not heard one good thing about this, so I don't want to put myself in that situation, because we all know what reading a bad book does. It puts you in a reading slump. And I've been kind of trying to get myself out of that. So this isn't going to help, and also it's been on my shelf forever. It's a really pretty book though. It's what like drew me in the first place, because when I pick up books, I don't look at their reviews before I'm home. So the cover got me in. It's a really nice like matte feel. But they're all my books so far that I'm going to unhaul. I think I looked at all my books and they're the only ones I could part with. And I'm getting pins and needles or dead foot. So that was my book unhaul. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if I was super low energy. I might have to redo this. I'm not sure. It's because I've been so ill over the weekend, and it took a lot for me to even sit in front of the camera today and attempt my book unhaul. But if you liked hanging out today, please leave a like. It helps with the algorithm, and or a comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see me again. If this is your first video, maybe watch another one to see what I'm like, because I feel like I wasn't my true excitable or more energy kind of self. A bit more toned down today, I would say. But then maybe not. Maybe I just feel like that in my mind. Who knows? But I do know that I'm going to spend the rest of the day absolutely just chilling out. Yeah. Thank you for watching again. If I have already said that, I can't remember. Have a good day, or evening, or morning, whatever. Bye 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 bye.